everyone, welcome back. And as promised, it's going to be another Christmas decoration here in my home. And this time I will be working on my fireplace area. And I think I will try to finish the entire living space area. So everyone sit down, relax, and enjoy watching how I transform my fireplace as well as the entire living space. Every year when I hang my garland, I place it symmetrical on both sides on top of my fireplace. But this year I wanted to do a different way where one side will be longer than the other one. And to secure this, I will be using my command hooks on both sides as well as the one on the center just to make sure that this garland will stay in place. The garland that I'm using are two different types of garland that I put together last year, and this one I bought from Home Goods. And I wanted to reinforce this garland with the wires that I bought from Dollar Tree a few years ago, because this thing is gonna start getting heavier once I start adding the lights and the other decorations I wanted to place on my garland. Next, to add more fullness on my garland, I added these cedar branches that I bought from Amazon. This one is so soft and very realistic looking. Since the cedar branches that I just bought have a different shades of green, I make sure that I move each of the pine needles and really mix it in together with the old garland just to make sure that they look like as if they came as one. Next step is adding some lights, and the lights that I use is the same one that I use on my Christmas tree. Not all of the warm lights that we buy on the market have the same brightness, and my Christmas tree and fireplace are just beside each other. That's why I use the same brand just to have a consistency. When placing my lights, I don't just put them on top. I make sure that I evenly distribute them in between and beneath the garlands, as well as some of the hanging pine leaves. To add more texture, I'm using the stem that I used the same on my Christmas tree that has snowflakes and white berries on it. First, I'm positioning this stem on this one side of the fireplace upward just to add some height, since this side of the garland ends on the side of the fireplace mantel. Next, I will be using the same stem that I have separated into small pieces last year, and I will be using this and placing it throughout the garland. Okay, everyone, so even though my garland came with these fake pine cones, I wanted to add more. And the pine cones that I will be using is the same one that I use on my Christmas tree. And I'm using this scented pine cones, which is the cedar balsam, as well as mixed in with this cinnamon pine cones, which these two I bought from At Home. Just what I did on my Christmas tree, I will secure these pine cones with my floral wire. These pine cones came with different shades, sizes, and shape, which I prefer because it makes my whole garland looks organic. And even though I'm using a fake garland and a Christmas tree, just by using these scented pine cones, it makes it feel and smells like I'm using a real plant. And the last step before I add the rest of my Christmas decoration, I will be using this same gold garland that I use for my Christmas tree. And what I will be doing is separate the leaves into small pieces, place it in between the garlands and some of the pine cones. And some of the gold leaves I will secure and keep this in place by using my floral wire. Every time I decorate my garland, both my Christmas tree and my garland needs to complement with each other. Now it's time to add the rest of my Christmas decoration. I bought this wall metal reindeer from Home Goods last year, and instead of using it on the wall, I will just be placing on top of my fireplace mantel. And I will just be using one of my stocking holder to secure and keep this in place. And now it's time to hang my Christmas crochet stocking that I have for more than 3 years now, and I bought this one from Etsy. And before I hang it, I need to stuff this with some papers and plastic on whatever I can find around my home, just to add some bulk on my Christmas stocking, which I prefer, and I think it makes a big difference compared to just leaving the Christmas stockings flat. And I will just be using my simple stocking holder that I bought from Hobby Lobby. Since the stockings are empty, I'm placing or hanging them inwards or towards the fireplace. And just to add some accent, I'm using some of my velvet ribbons, tie it around the stocking handles. Okay, everyone, so today is another day and it's all finishing touches for today. And last night I was sitting on my couch and just trying to appreciate what I just did on my fireplace mantle, but I'm specifically looking on this reindeer and I did not trust myself on how I positioned or secured it yesterday. So I did not show you guys, but I did some reinforcement, and now I'm just trying to show, or I wanted to show you how I did reinforce this reindeer. So what I did is wrap this with wire and secure it at the back of my fireplace. And the wire that I use, I bought this from Dollar Tree and I have this for a long time. This is a wire that is covered with plastic, and I specifically use this because I don't want the fireplace as well as my reindeer to get some scratches. And the hook that I use to secure this wire at the back of my fireplace is this command hook that is good for 4 pounds. But instead of me using the stick-on that comes with this hook, I use the other strip, and this is that one. This is like a Velcro stick-on, much stronger than the other one, and this is good for 16 pounds because I want to make sure that this reindeer will stay there until at least after the holidays. And since the wire are showing, so what I did is use one of my old garland, cut the pieces of this plastic pine needles and wrap it around just to make it look nice. And to hide the wires around the reindeer's neck, I used one of my velvet ribbons and make a bow. So after removing the vase and the fake plant that was on my side table, it took me for a while to figure out what to replace on it. So I have this glass display planter that I have in my home, and I try to reinvent some other ways to use this since I don't want to spend or buy any more Christmas decoration. Just to add some height, I use one of my riser, but putting them all together, I find it dull and boring. So what I did is use some of my pine cones, connect it with the floral wires to cover the base of the riser. So once I'm done and satisfied with the coverage, I then add some of the gold leaves and insert it in between the pine cones. Then I added my wooden tray as a base, and this will serve and make it easy to move and clean the area once in a while. To add some color and some freshness look, I add this preserved moss that I have for a while, and this one I bought from Amazon. Okay, everyone. So another thing that I wanted to include on my decoration is this 6-foot nutcracker that I bought from Home Depot during the Black Friday sale. And I bought this last year, and this one was placed outside or on the main entrance, but this time I wanted to try and put it beside my fireplace. So you might be wondering why the box still looks brand new and the items are still on their original packaging, because this is how I do every after holiday or after I use my Christmas decoration. As much as possible, I try to put them back on their original packaging, as well as the bags that comes with it. So I always, every time I open my Christmas decoration, I try to remember how I got them. That way I can place them back on the original box. And before I do that, so after I use it, I cleaned it first, then place it on the original packaging, or sometimes I seal it with a saran wrap. And I guess by doing this, it makes all my Christmas decoration last longer. And also the colors are still in pristine condition. So I will just be assembling this, do the finishing touches on my living space, and I'll show you the final look. Okay, everyone. So hopefully you enjoyed watching how I transform my fireplace as well as my living space. And for the next video, I will be doing or start decorating my dining area. That way I can share you how I do my simple table setting for this Christmas season. And I wanted to finish this area as soon as I can. That way I can get to sit down on my couch, drink a hot cocoa, and start staring and enjoying my Christmas tree as well as my fireplace. So I try to post at least every Wednesday for you guys to enjoy watching. So please do continue supporting my channel. It will greatly mean so much to me as well as my family. So everyone, please share, like, and subscribe and hit that notification bell. That way you get to be notified whenever I post some videos here on my YouTube channel. And again, thank you for watching and see you soon. Bye.